Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to look at a couple of really fun ways that shops have actually come around and been able to stop scalpers, and I find that very, very interesting indeed. Though I do need to come in as Future Wassy here and just interrupt past Wassy just for a moment. This video was recorded a few weeks ago, so I'm going to be talking about the release of EV Heroes, which obviously happened a little while ago now, but these examples are still absolutely relevant. They're still cool ways to stop scalpers, so very much worth having a chat about on a Sunday morning. And EV Heroes is an extremely hyped set. One thing I do want to point out before we even get going here, I keep seeing people referring to EV Heroes as a special set, in the same vein as Shiny Star V. That's just not true. Shiny Star V, Japan has this language that they use for their special sets. They call them high-class packs. And they use high-class packs for things like Shiny Star V to tell you that there are lots and lots and lots of secret rares and shiny cars and it's a collector set, etc. Shiny Star V was a high-class pack. EV Heroes is not. EV Heroes is an ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill mini-set over in Japan. And it is especially hyped because it's got all the EVs in, the Vs and VMAXs. I say that, half of them are in the set, the other half are in this VMAX set. So the Gen 1ers and Espeon can only be got in the VMAX pack. They cannot be gotten in the main set. But it's not a special set. It is an ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill mini-set. It's just an especially cool, ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill mini-set, which has built a lot of hype. And I've told you that a bunch of stores over in Japan have started using lottery systems because, frankly, they knew that there would be too much of a rush. I told you how the initial wave of EV Heroes over on the Pokemon Center Online, the official online website, was, well, let's just say overrun by bots because they didn't use a lottery system. And I think it is fair to say at this stage that there are probably some regrets in terms of the people that were actually using this because, or, you know, the people that actually set it up not as a lottery because it turned out that it sold out, like, immediately. And that's a bad thing. So a bunch of stores are using lottery systems, and I cannot tell you how great lottery systems are for trying to deter scalpers. Now look, I am not in any way, shape or form telling you that scalpers cannot take advantage of a lottery system. Obviously they can. But what lottery systems do is they make it even. Generally speaking, for those of you that don't know, the reason why bots are so good at picking up product on websites is because bots are faster. Computers are faster than people. I'm sorry, I know that sounds a bit like a dystopian future, but that's where we are. Bots can buy stuff faster than humans because they do it automated, there's no thinking or any of that. So if it's first come, first served, bots will outspeed the humans. Bots will basically get everything. Bad news bears. If, however, we do it by a lottery system, then essentially what happens is, don't get me wrong, the bots can still enter the lottery, and they will. The bots can still win the lottery, and at times they will, but it gives everybody an even chance of winning the lottery, bots and regular people together, rather than prioritizing first come, first serve, which, as I've explained, is likely to be the bots. Now, I know a lot of stores aren't going to be selling EV Heroes in person. A lot of stores have gone to selling online only. Remember, the Pokemon Center officially have said that they will only be selling online. They will not be selling in person, or at least not for people who don't have a pre-order, etc. And I know that a lot of stores are selling by lottery. But there was a fairly genius thing that happened during the release of Sword and Shield 6. That was Jet Black, Poltergeist, and Silver Lance. Now, what essentially happened was, that was a very sought-after set, especially Jet Black Poltergeist, and the reason was that in certain stores, if you bought 2 boxes of the set, you would get yourself the alternate art promo of Celebi V. I've shown you this before. Now, Silver Lance, buying 2 boxes would get you the alternate art of Sandaconda, and firstly, Celebi is a lot more popular than Sandaconda, and secondly, the artwork is so much better on the Celebi than the Sandaconda, so I think it's fair at this stage to say Jet Black Poltergeist was the more sought after of them, and it is the one that sold out the fastest. So what happened at one store? I believe it was a Pokemon Center. Yes, it was. It was the Pokemon Center in Nihonbashi. Now, according to this tweet, they used a reset stamp. And essentially what happened was the Pokemon Center told people, hey, please don't turn up and queue before 9 a.m. We don't want you queuing before 9 a.m. It's awkward and it blocks the road and we don't want a giant queue and people rushing. Please turn up at 9 a.m. And a bunch of people basically went, well, hang on a second, if I turn up at 9 a.m, I'm not going to get the product that I want. I'm going to ignore their requests and I'm going to turn up early so I can be at the front of the queue. So a whole bunch of people turned up early and a whole bunch of people queued before 9 a.m. And at 9 a.m, the people running the store came out and reversed the queue. And they said, right, it's 9 a.m. The people that have just turned up at 9 a.m. as requested, you are the front of the queue. And the first people that arrived early, we asked you not to. You have now become the back of the queue. Now, I adore this. It is harsh, let's be fair. It is extremely harsh on the people that turned up early and queued early to try and get to the front of the queue. Having said that, they were told not to come before 9 a.m. So when they turn up before 9 a.m, they are basically bringing it upon themselves. And I like this because essentially at this stage, people then, going back to that store, these people are going to go, yeah, I regret not turning up at 9 like I was told. I regret turning up early. So maybe I'm not going to do this again. Maybe I should not do this. Now, that's a good way to stop people in person, but another really cool thing, that was a lovely Primal Lugia that showed me this. Now, this story comes from sneakerfreaker.com, but basically there was a website, I believe it was Kif, who basically, and this is to do with sneakers, not Pokemon cards, but you can absolutely do this on a Pokemon card website, who basically and bots look for URLs, right? So bots will find the URL of the product and they will go to the URL and put in orders automatically. So what they did was they set up the URL that looked like it would take you to this pair of sneakers that people wanted, and what they actually did instead was put together a cardboard box, branded it with a gold Stingwater sticker, presented it as a sculptural piece, stamped it, and titled it Friends and Family Box. Wrote a description of the box and the materials used. Came back home 30 minutes later to a couple hundred new orders. Basically, they went and put a just bogus listing of something, and the listing was correct, and it was described properly, and anyone who actually went to the site and looked would have gone, yep, I'm not buying that, that's not going to work. I'm not falling for that. But bots don't go and read the site. Bots go to the URL and they put in the order automatically. So they spent lots and lots of money buying things that they shouldn't. And the thing is, and this is why these anti-scalper tricks are so good and so necessary, a lot of scalpers are opportunistic. Because, generally speaking, people who are really good at business and clever are able to actually start a business and go make money. Scalpers tend to be opportunistic people looking for a quick buck. So what essentially happens is that they try and do this, it fails, they lose a couple of grand, and at that point they go, I can't afford to do this, I'm out. Great news. One fewer scalper running around trying to ruin our day. Because, like I've said, scalpers don't generally tend to have large reserves of money and great business acumen, because people who are really good at business generally tend to start successful businesses. They don't tend to go, hey, here's a sought after product, I'm going to try and buy some nice and quickly and then sell them to the same people who want to buy them for a higher price. And let's be clear, I have no sympathy for scalpers at all. Because the entire business model, and I say business in huge quotation marks there, of a scalper is, I am going to buy this stuff ahead of people who actually want it, and then sell it to those same people at a profit for me. It is very, very much in bad taste. It is mean. It takes no real skill other than being quick. We've all seen the videos of people rushing Walmart to buy Pokemon. It's always presented as Pokemon. It's Pokemon and sports. It's not just Pokemon. But we've all seen the videos of people rushing Walmart to buy those cards as fast as they possibly can, so they can then sell it to the people who couldn't get there fast enough. It doesn't take a lot of skill to bully your way to the front of a queue, or buy a bot that can bully its way to the front of a digital queue. All you're doing is ripping off ordinary people by buying stuff that they want just ahead of them, and then selling it to them at a profit for yourself. I'm sorry, no sympathy for scalpers here whatsoever. But I just thought these were a couple of nice examples, one in person, one not in person, as well as some reminders of other things we've talked about before, where it is actually possible. Nice examples show that it is possible to stop these scalpers, and if we do think about it, rather than just going, oh, you can't stop scalpers, it's a waste of time, we can actually go, well, you know what, maybe it is possible to stop these scalpers. Supply is already picking up. Shining Fates is a set that was basically impossible to get initially. We saw products like the Elite Trainer Box and the VMAX Premium collections that were just, when they released, basically impossible to get at recommended retail price. And now, oh look, all of a sudden supply is picked up. They are everywhere, and I've told you this before and I'll tell you again. I know it's not technically scalping, it's just being ripped off by online stores. But many online stores, when supply was low, were selling these far above RRP. So fine, these sites might be selling the Shining Fates Elite Trainer Box at $52.50 now, but if they were selling it for 70 quid when supply was low, please don't give them your money. Go to any other online store. They've all received a bunch of new stock. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. More ways that scalpers can be taken down, and if I find some more cool examples, I will share them with you. For now, I want to know what you think about this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.